the obligatory take a picture. It's like a tradition. Oh, you really are gonna? How about if I do your hands on the keyboard? How about that? I want to think of it a bit more.
Good evening. I would like to call the annual meeting of FreeState Electric Cooperative to order. I'd like to remind everyone voting here tonight that ballots will need to be dropped in the ballot box right over here on this table, and we'll have a last call for votes prior to counting the ballots. I want to point out the emergency exits that are located around the room, and we do have restrooms down the hall, and in the event that we have to take shelter, I just don't even want to know. Our tornado shelter's in the basement, and we're not going to take shelter. I'm just confident, but somebody will tell us how to get there if the need arises. If you have mobility issues, we'll take care of that also. Okay, we're just on with that. If you would please stand and join me with the Pledge of Allegiance. Right behind me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome. Welcome to the 2026 FreeState Electric Cooperative meeting. My name is Janine Murphy, and I've had the pleasure of serving as president of the Board of Trustees. I'd like to take a moment to recognize a few people this evening before we get started with the meeting. I'd first like to introduce the rest of the Board of Trustees. Starting on this side is Jake Pugh, our cooperative attorney, Chris Parr, our CEO, Ralph Phillips from Mayetta, Don Montgomery from Burlingame, and he serves as secretary, Larry Butel Overbrook, and he serves as treasury, Bill Conley from Delia. Sorry, I practiced. Well, we're out of order here. Rob Sage from Maple Hill, Carol Lohman from Leavenworth, and Matthew Tariq from Valley Falls. We'd also like to welcome a few guests. Kevin Noblet, the Executive Vice President and Chief Executive Officer of KEPCO. And Lee Taffanelli, I saw right back there, CEO of Kansas Electric Cooperatives. I have been informed that there is a quorum and we can now conduct the business of the cooperative. Our first order of business is the approval of the 2025 annual meeting minutes. Those could be found in your annual report. I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes as printed, if I could get a motion. Well, thank you both. I appreciate that. Can one of you be a second? Would one of you be a second? Okay, all right, good deal. All right, all those in favor of passing the minutes, will you please say aye? Aye. All those opposed to passing the minutes, would you please say nay? The motion passed, and the 2025 annual meeting minutes have been approved. Our board secretary, Don Montgomery, will read the official notice of the annual meeting.
I will do my best. To the attention of all members of FreeState Electric Cooperative, Incorporated, organized and existing under and by virtue of Chapter 17, Article 46 of the laws of the state of Kansas. You and each of you are hereby notified that on the 22nd day of April 2026, the annual meeting of said FreeState Electric Cooperative referred to above will be held at 6 p.m., which I think we're doing right now, by the way, at the McLouth office located in Jefferson County at 507 North Union in McLouth, Kansas, to take action on the following matters. Number one, the report of officers, trustees, and committees. Number two, the election of 3 trustees for the cooperative. Number 3, all other business that may come before the meeting or any adjournment or adjournments thereof. Madam President, I'll let you have this back.
Thank you, Don. I'd like to invite our board treasurer, Larry Butel, to the podium for the financial report.
This may sound familiar if you've been to a few of these, but as treasurer of the board, it is my responsibility to oversee the financial activity of the cooperative. The Board of Trustees has commissioned the services of Ide Bailey, LLP, of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, to make a complete audit of the accounts, the books, and the financial condition of the cooperative. The audit covered the cooperative's fiscal year, which began the 1st day of January and ended the 31st day of December. The review examined the cooperative's accounting records and accounting procedures to verify that they are accurate and in compliance with the accepted standards. The auditors also reviewed the cooperative's system of internal controls, including the segregation of functional responsibilities, the method of authorizations, and the procedures that provide control over the assets and the liabilities. I'm pleased to report that 2025 was another successful audit. FreeState is in a viable financial position.
Thank you. This time I'd like to invite Jake Pugh, the cooperative attorney, to the podium prior to counting the on-site ballot.
Thank you, Janine. I would like to thank the nominating committee for presenting the slate and Abby Coffin for chairing the nominating committee. We will now collect any outstanding ballots that have yet to be cast. If you have not already deposited your ballot, please hold it up and a member of the staff will come and collect it. Are there any other ballots that need to be collected? We will report the results as soon as the ballots are cast, counted, and certified. Thank you.
As the energy industry is rapidly changing, we've decided to bring in an energy expert to give our members an opportunity to hear how our power supplier is poised to meet the challenges ahead and provide opportunities for member cooperatives like FreeState. I would like to introduce you all to Kevin Noblett, Executive Vice President and Chief Executive Officer for the Kansas Electric Power Cooperative Incorporated, KEPCO. In this role, Mr. Noblett provides strategy, vision, and direction for KEPCO while working closely with the KEPCO Board of Trustees and staff to meet the power supply and transmission needs of KEPCO's 17 distribution cooperative members. Mr. Noblett represents KEPCO on the Wolf Creek Nuclear Operating Cooperation Board of Directors, an executive committee, and the National G&T Managers Association, and serves as an alternate representative on the Kansas Electric Cooperative Board and several national electric cooperative boards. Mr. Noblett has over 25 years of utility experience. Prior to joining KEPCO, he served as president of Liberty Utility Central Region and was responsible for its electric, gas, and water operations, as well as financial and regulatory oversight. Prior to Liberty, Mr. Noblett worked at Evergy and its predecessor companies and gained experience in the areas of generation, transmission, distribution, and customer service. As a native of the Kansas City area, Mr. Noblett is a graduate of William Jewell College with a bachelor's degree in physics, a graduate of Washington University with a bachelor's in electrical engineering, and a graduate of the University of Kansas with a master's in business administration. Please help me welcome Kevin Noblett.
That's kind of long. Thank you very much. As Jeannie said, I'm Kevin Noblett with KEPCO, so it's Kansas Electric Power Cooperative. I'll try. Better? Okay, thank you. I kind of want to start off kind of talking about how do we get power to your house, your home, your farm, and there's really three phases. You got to make it, we call that generation. You then transmit it, typically over long distance, we call that transmission. Then you have to get it delivered to your house, and that's what we call distribution. So in a cooperative world, KEPCO is viewed as a G&T. So our primary responsibility is to go out and procure all the generation and all the transmission, get the power delivered to Chris and his team so that they can safely and reliably deliver it to you folks. And as Janine said in the intro, we don't do this just for Free States. We don't do it just for Chris. We've got 17 other distribution cooperatives that we provide G&T services for. Those 17 cooperatives are in 75 different counties, and they're primarily on the eastern half of the state of Kansas. So I want to talk a little bit about our generation portfolio. I'm very proud of the KEPCO generation portfolio. It's very diversified. I think you guys would agree that the best portfolio, if it's your stock portfolio or retirement, it's a well-diversified portfolio. For example, we have ownership in the Wolf Creek Nuclear Power Station. We have ownership in Iatan 2, which is a coal plant north of Kansas City. We own the Sharp generating station, which is a diesel-fired peaking unit. And then we also own Prairie Sky, which is a solar farm. We kind of complement those ownerships with power purchase agreements. That's where we contract with others for resources. We have 2 separate power purchase agreements with 2 different entities off of 2 hydroelectric facilities. And there's not a lot of hydro in the central United States. That's pretty rare. And then we also have a contract with Evergy that gives us a slice of their system. And so with that slice of the system, we have more exposure to nuclear, coal, solar, but it also introduces natural gas as well as a lot of wind. So again, our portfolio has served us very, very well on the past, and I think it sets us up very well for the future challenges and uncertainties as we go forward. Now, KEPCO is 100% responsible for all the generation and transmission to serve all of our members. But what's kind of interesting is we do not decide if or when our generators run, and we don't decide when to use the transmission that we procured. That's done by another entity called the Southwest Power Pool. The Southwest Power Pool is made up of parts of 14 states, from North Dakota, South Dakota, all of Kansas, goes all the way down into parts of New Mexico, Texas, and Louisiana. Now, within that 14-state region, they have about 1,000 generating plants. They also have about 73,000 miles of transmission lines. But again, what's interesting is Southwest Power Pool doesn't own one single generator, and they don't own 1 inch of transmission lines. But they do control the day-to-day operation of the grid. Day-to-day, hour-to-hour, minute-to-minute. They want to make sure that the load and the generation's always balanced. And the way they do that is utilities, like ourselves, we will send our load forecast. They will take what load we're expecting. They look at those 1,000 generators. They look at the transmission. They put it into a big computer model, turn the crank, and they dispatch the system. Now, when they dispatch the system, the first thing they do is they're always going to solve for reliability. Grid reliability is always going to be the first thing, that's the most important thing for them. Now, once they solve for grid reliability, they then start to look for economics. They look for cheaper ways to dispatch the system. So, for example, if there's a generator up in South Dakota, and if they can run that generator, use the transmission to get it to Kansas, and if they can do it first reliably, and second, more cheaper than running a generator in Kansas, they're going to do that. And likewise, there are many, many hours where Kansas is generating from their plants, sending it to different states. Maybe it's going to Missouri, could be Oklahoma, could be going all the way down to Texas. So I tell you a little bit about the Southwest Power Pool to get you guys to maybe have an idea that we're part of a bigger grid. And anything that happens in that 14-state region can have an impact on us back here at home. So out in Dodge City, Sunflower, if they were to retire a plant or build a brand new power plant, it would impact us on the eastern half of the state. If somebody up in Nebraska got a big new load, it could impact us here. If Oklahoma built new transmission, it could impact us here. So again, when I say impact us, it's not just KEPCO. If it impacts KEPCO, it impacts you guys as well. Now, impacting, sometimes the impact's very little. Sometimes the impact can be very big. I think most times when people hear impact, they probably think it's negative, and it can be. Sometimes the impact can be positive. Sometimes it can actually be a benefit. And so you may be thinking, wow, is it a good thing to be part of this Southwest Power Pool? And there's a lot of legislators asking the same question. I can guarantee you that from a reliability standpoint, it makes sense to be part of the bigger footprint. From an economic standpoint, the Southwest Power Pool has done some studies, and their estimates show that they save their members in the 14 states about $750 million a year. So are they perfect? No. Are they frustrating? At times, but I do think it makes sense from a reliability and an affordability standpoint. So I just kind of want to kind of close with talking a little bit about KEPCO. Our mission is always going to be safe, reliable service for our members. Always have to start with safety. If people are getting hurt, whether it's in the office, in the field, or in the community, I always say the rest doesn't matter. Then you get into the reliable and the affordable, and that these battle. Everybody in this room wants reliable power. I want reliable power. But everybody in this room will have a limit to what you're willing to pay for it. And that is a challenge that KEPCO is faced with day in and day out. How do we balance reliability and affordability? And today, there's more pressure on the affordability side of that scale than probably any time I can remember in my career. Now the good news is, I'm here to say that you guys have strong leadership here at Free State. You've got a strong, engaged board here. Chris, as well as Mark Wolfkuhl, sit on the KEPCO board. And these are things that we're challenged with to come up with creative solutions to try to keep costs as reasonable as we possibly can. And we've got a few balls in the air. Probably not going to get into details tonight on those, but I will tell you that if I get the opportunity to come back next year, hopefully we can share some successes that we've had on trying to keep rates as reasonable as possible. So I know there's a lot of prizes over here. I know I'm not eligible, but it looks like some good ones. But thank you for having me, and have a good evening.
Thank you, Kevin. If you have any questions about power supply, here, let me, just a little bit. I'll try. Staff will be available to take those after the meeting. As most of you are aware, one of the things that makes a cooperative special is that the people that we serve are also owners. Free State exists because of you, and every decision we make is guided by what is best for the members, for our members. The idea of being member-centric has been the foundation of this cooperative since the very beginning. In the 1940s, the people who built this cooperative came together with a shared vision to bring reliable electricity to rural communities that had so often been overlooked. They believed that by coming together, they could build something that would not only power farms and homes, but empower them well into the future. Just like those early leaders looked ahead and built for the future, it's now our responsibility to do the same. The electric industry is changing. It's changing rapidly. Technology is advancing, communities are growing, and the expectations around reliability and service are increasing. Here at Free State, we see those changes not as obstacles, but as opportunities. Your Board of Trustees, the cooperative's leadership team, and employees are focused on positioning this cooperative for the future, and that means continued investment in our electric system and infrastructure. It means we are looking at ways to modernize the grid by using smarter tools and technology to help us monitor reliability, strengthen the grid, and plan for the growth required to meet the rising demands of tomorrow. As we look toward the future, I do want to assure you that some things will not change. As Kevin said, safety will always be our highest priority. Each day, our employees go out to maintain and improve our system that serves each of you. Making sure they return home to their family at the end of the day is something we take very seriously. Safety isn't just a policy at Free State. It is a culture that guides how we operate each day. Reliability is just as important to us. You depend on electricity every hour of every day. Electricity is essential for our daily lives. Our goal is simple. When you flip the switch, power should be there. And that's why we continue to invest and build and set ourselves up to respond quickly when outages or challenges arise. We keep a close eye on the evolving energy landscape. From new generation technologies to changing regulations and options, our industry is going through an important transition. Our responsibility to you, the owners, is to navigate those challenges while protecting reliability, affordability, and making smart decisions for the long-term success of our cooperative. As we continue to look ahead to change, growth, and new opportunities, I am confident that this cooperative will continue doing what it has always done since day one, putting members first, working together to build strong foundations for all of our futures. And now I'd like to invite our CEO, Chris Parr, up to the podium to present the State of the Cooperative Address.
Thank you, Janine. Good evening, everyone. Appreciate Kevin being here and giving his comments. It is a very complicated industry, as you can hear, and I appreciate Lee Taffanelli being here for statewide because he does a lot of great work on the legislative side for us as well. So I want to start by saying thank you to our members because Free State exists for one reason, and that's you, and that's you being here. Tonight, I'd like to take a few minutes to talk about where we've been in the past year and then where we're headed next. 2025 was a strong year for the cooperative. We saw real growth across our system. In fact, new services were up 27%, bringing us to just over 20,000 service points and more than 16,000 members. What this growth tells us is something very important. People want to live and work in our service territory. It also means more responsibility for us to make sure we're ready to serve that growth with a safe, reliable service. Since Free State came together in 2017, we've added over 1,100 new services just in that time frame. That steady growth might not always make the headlines, but it does matter. It means we're building a stronger system year by year. One of our biggest behind-the-scenes effort this year, and you've probably seen them in some of your backyards, but we're doing what is called a GIS field audit. Now that may not sound exciting to you, but it's incredibly important for us as the cooperative. For the first time ever, we're working physically to verify our entire system out in the field. We hired some contracting help because this is such a large project, and a company called Global Mapping Solutions has crews out there checking equipment, confirming locations, and identifying issues out there. And I'll be honest, we found a number of things through this audit. That's exactly why we invested in this project, because catching small issues now prevents bigger ones in the future, and it gives people better data so we can plan, build, and be smarter about continuing service reliability for you. I want to talk briefly about our finances, because that directly affects you. Specifically, our margins printed in our annual report this year, you may notice that margins are a little higher than they used to be. That is not by accident. The reality is delivering power today requires significant more investment. Providing power is capital intensive. All of our costs continue to rise, and maintaining a reliable system takes more capital than just 5 years ago. So we've adjusted our financial strategy. We're strengthening our financial position so that we can borrow money for new lines, new potential substations, future upgrades, and we're in a strong position to do that. That helps us ensure we're continuing delivering reliable power without sudden shocks to our rates. But just as important is the fact we haven't lost sight of whose dollars those belong to. As a cooperative, we return margins back through capital credits. Last year alone, we returned $1.6 million back to our members. That's one of the things that makes the cooperative advantage, and you're not just customers, you are owners. We also continue to support others this year. Our crews, again, just like last year, answered the call for mutual aid. Helping communities restore power in major events, that's part of our cooperative spirit. We sent crews down to Mississippi after Winter Storm Fern, and we showed up when they needed us the most. Closer to home, we just completed a very important project up at Fort Leavenworth with a new tie line that improves reliability and supports the Army's resiliency goals. I mention a project like this because it does two things. First, it strengthens their system, and projects like this bring in extra revenue to keep costs stable for our members. We've also taken a lot of steps in wildfire mitigation. I'm sure you've been hearing a lot on the news about this, both in how we manage our system and how we share information with you. Preparedness is something we all share, and we're committed to helping you stay informed. We added a section on our website, so if you head to our website, it provides helpful information when it comes to preparing for wildfires and keeping your home safe. Now let's talk about where we're going. One of our big focus areas is updating our facilities. We've talked about this, and many of you have seen the construction going on at our Topeka location. And next month, McLeod will become our service operations center and close to the public. But I do want to take a few minutes to talk about this decision because it was not an easy one. The decision to close our McLeod office to member access was not made lightly. We know this building has a long history and a deep connection to many of you, and we understand change like this can bring mix of emotions. Since 2019, our board and leadership have carefully evaluated these facilities, especially as our cooperative has grown and the energy industry has evolved. What we found is our building no longer meets the needs of our members or our employees when it comes to safety, efficiency, level of service that you would expect from us today. At the same time, we had to look ahead. We had to reach a point where continuing to invest in aging facilities would not serve the long-term interests of the cooperative. Instead, we chose a path that allows us to improve operations, strengthen reliability, and better position FreeState for the future. Our outside crews will continue to operate locally, and McLeod will remain an important part of our system as an operations center. The decision was emotional. It was hard, but the decision we had to make to benefit the co-op for the next 30 to 50 years. The coming decades will also bring change in our power needs. We're working on a plan on how we'll meet the growing demand for electricity. Our job is to stay ahead of that. So when you flip the switch, that the power is always there. Another big priority for us is how we connect with you. We want to do a better job of meeting members where you are, not just here at the annual meeting, but out in your communities. Later this summer, we'll be sharing more information about new ways we plan to engage with members. Instead of just one large event that we've done typically in the past, we're planning more smaller events, and we're excited to celebrate during our cooperative month, that's in October, across our entire service territory for this year. So stay tuned, and we'll look to you to give you more information how you can participate. And this fall, we'll be launching a member satisfaction survey. It's an opportunity to give us feedback and input that will help us guide to better serve you and how we can improve service moving forward. Finally, we're keeping a close eye on our infrastructure. Over the next 3 to 5 years, we expect to invest in additional substation capacity. To put it simply, some parts of our system are getting close to capacity. While it's a good problem to have because it means growth, it's also something we have to stay ahead of to maintain the reliability you expect. At the end of the day, everything we do comes back to a simple promise: to provide you with safe, reliable, and affordable power while being responsible stewards of the cooperative that you own. We're proud of the progress we've made, we're excited about what's ahead, and we're grateful for the trust that you place in all of us. Thank you. It's always an honor to serve you as your Chief Executive Officer and General Manager. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. At this time, I can report there is no old business that was brought forward by cooperative members, so we will move on to the business of electing cooperative trustees. I'd like to invite Jake back to the podium to announce and certify the results of the trustee election.
Thank you, Janine. There were a total of 1,679 ballots cast by mail and online, and there were 11 ballots cast here tonight at the meeting, which were counted on-site and certified by me. The following individuals were elected as trustee members. East District Position 1, Janine Murphy of Leavenworth. West District Position 2, Larry Boutel of Overbrook. And West District Position 2, Don Montgomery of Burlingame. These results have been certified by me as a cooperative attorney, as well as Survey and Ballot, the company that conducts our annual election. Thank you.
Thank you, Jake. And I want you to know it's truly an honor to serve Free State member owners. As we wind down the evening, we want to take just a few minutes this evening to recognize a milestone. We would like to recognize Ralph Phillips for this incredible milestone in serving the members of Free State and its predecessors, LJEC. We have a little video that we'd like you to watch.
For 40 years, Ralph Phillips has shown up not for recognition, not for applause, but for something bigger than himself. 40 years of leadership, of long meetings, tough decisions, and quiet moments where the right path wasn't always the easiest one, but it was the one he chose anyway. That kind of service matters more than most people ever see. Because when someone commits decades to a cooperative, they're not just serving a board, they are shaping a future. They're helping neighbors keep the lights on, businesses stay open, and families stay connected. They're building trust year after year, decision after decision. When Ralph first began his service, the world looked very different. Technology was simpler. Growth looked different. Challenges came in other forms. And over the years, he's seen it all: change, progress, uncertainty, and transformation. He's witnessed the cooperative evolve, adapting to new technologies, expanding services, meeting new demands. Through it all, Ralph has been a constant, a steady voice, a guiding hand. 40 years means showing up when it's hard, listening when it matters, standing firm when it counts. And while systems and tools may have changed, the heart of the cooperative hasn't, because of people like Ralph. Today, we don't just celebrate a milestone. We celebrate dedication, integrity, and service. Ralph, thank you for your time, your wisdom, and your unwavering commitment. 40 years is more than service. It's impact that will be felt for generations. Congratulations on 40 years of service to Free State and its predecessor, LJEC.
Ralph, could you come up here? We have a little something for you, because 40 years is nothing to snicker at. That's a long time. So I've got Chris.
Well, I can tell you, I was shocked tonight. I've got at least 14 family members in the audience here.
And you didn't expect that, Ralph?
I did not have a clue. Not one clue.
On behalf of LJEC, we were on LJEC together. On behalf of Free State, we'd like to present you with this in recognition of dedicated service to the electric cooperative.
I thank you very much, Judy.
Thank you, Ralph. Congratulations. Well, let me say kudos to Ralph's family, because we hoped that it would be a surprise, but I think you pulled it off. Good deal. All right, now for the best part of the Free State meeting. As we wind down, we would go ahead and draw the door prizes, which are located right over here with the ladies. They are provided for us by our vendors, and we thank them for their generous donations. As we draw, if your number is called, a staff member will bring you a card, and that card needs to be filled out with your name and address. At the end of the meeting, you can take the card back over to the prize table, and there you can pick up your prize. Sarah Farley will be drawing our numbers tonight.
I don't know, last year I drew one on command, so we'll see how this year goes. All right. All right, the first prize we're going to draw for is a $100 bill credit from Free State. Number 491. There you go, right over here, guys. The second prize is a $50 bill credit from FreeState. 287. Oh, over here. $50 bill credit from KEPCO. 299. 299. Okay. Another $50 bill credit from KEPCO is 493. A $50 bill credit from KSI. 282. Right over there. All right, we have a smart TV that was donated by Border States. 293. All right, you're going home with a new TV. I bet you didn't think of that this morning when you woke up. We have a Still handsaw from White Star, 278. 278. Zach, it's behind you. Doug. Yeah, Doug's the number. The TV's up here. Okay, we have another Still cleaner from Heinen Outdoor Power and Equipment, and that is 495. 495, right up here. Okay, the next one on the list is we have a Weber grill and a Chiefs Turner from Uline. And that is number 399. Right up here. Right up here in the blue checkered shirt. Yep. Sorry, we don't have steaks. Yep, you got to get those on your own. We have a $100 gift certificate from Lone Star Tire Center in Oskaloosa, and that is number 398. Right up here. Girls are going to get their steps in tonight. We have a Milwaukee drill bit set, 396. Back here. Yep, red shirt right there. We have a wagon, a pull behind wagon, 290. We have a step stool. If your kids won't let you have it, let us know. 289. Right over here. Right over here in the blue shirt. Yep. We have a Ninja Bullet. It's like a little blender. 286. Back there in the back row. The electric kettle, 283. Yep. Right here in the purple. We have a Kansas City Chiefs blanket from Uline. 294. We have a crock pot from Stella James, 276. Okay. Then we're going to jump to the Laird Noller oil change. It's number 28. 291. Over here, Ken. I wrote it down, Ken. We got it. We have a CB radio. No, I don't remember who that was donated by, but 292. Right there right there. Yep. Okay, then we have a small fan. Matt, it's to your right there, that small fan. 490. We have a socket set, number 31, 288. The From the Land of Kansas box, 277 in the back. We have a travel pack bundle. It's number 17. Zach, it should be in a FreeState bag. It's one of those bags. 297. Winner. Okay, we're getting towards the end. We have an Orca cup from Alltech, and there's like a hose connector in there as well. 389. We have a different cup from Alltech. 296. Right here, Matt. Blue shirt. Oh, next row, back. I know. The second Orca cup is 494. Okay. Then we have another Alltech cup, 392. It's one of the big ones, the tall one. Should be number 22. 392, right here. We have a gas tank cover, like a propane gas tank cover, as well as a Bluetooth speaker that's shaped like a semi. 279. 279, back here in the back. So our last 3. These should be like the assortment bags. One of them is 400. 400. The next one is 285. And our last one of the night, 492. Yeah, we got like a winning row right there. They picked well. As a reminder, before you leave, make sure you fill out the bottom of the card. Just pop over to the gift table and the gals will get that to you before you leave. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Sarah, and we thank the generous vendors who donated the prize this evening. As we close tonight, I'd like to thank you all for coming and engaging with your cooperative. And if, after we're finished, if we could have Ralph's family come up, we'd like to take a picture now that we've surprised you. So thank you for coming tonight. We appreciate it, and we'll look forward to seeing you soon. Oh, that's good.